Hey Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, this is Mina, and this is your November 2020 horoscope prediction video. With the holidays coming up, I wanted to add some more information about family and friends to these readings, so each of these horoscope videos will be broken into 3 sections: relationships, the self, and material. In relationships, we're going to discuss your friends, family, and romance. I also want to pull some cards to see how you could best express your gratitude or what could help guide you on providing unique gifts for those around you during the beginning of this holiday season. We'll then look at cards that represent how we connect to others and how we can set boundaries with our family and friends during this time. In the self section, we will discuss the lessons you're learning this month, how you should engage in self-care, your spirituality, strengths, and mental health. Lastly, in the material section, we'll discuss work and finances. Use the timestamps in the description box to skip to any section you're most interested in or to refer back to it throughout the month. At the end of the reading, we will roll the astro dice to get some more insight into the reading, as always. If you're watching this for someone that you love, there will be specific timestamps to the romance section, so you can skip there now. For those of you watching your sun sign video, please be sure to check out your moon and rising sign or ascendant sign video. This will give you the most personalized reading you can get in this generalized reading setting, and if you want a very personalized reading, I do offer them, so go ahead and send me an email at minanixtarot@gmail.com. If you don't know your sun, moon, and rising sign, I'll put a link to a natal chart creator in the description box so you can figure that out for yourself. I usually shuffle on camera for these horoscope videos, but I have a ton to cover this month. I'm gonna go ahead and skip over that part for you. All right, let's begin. We're gonna go ahead and start out with your self section. So for your theme of your month, the 4 of Cups reversed. Spiritually, the 3 of Swords. And then Spirit picked this affirmation card for you. For self-care, the 7 of Pentacles reversed. And Speak Your Truth. And for mental health, Futura, She Who Divines, Future Choice and Judgment. Sagittarius, it is time for you to get out of your rut. You are leaving any remorse or regret in the past, and you're moving forward in a more positive way in November. You're going to be seizing opportunities with enthusiasm. You're very focused this month. You could have just realized that you maybe were a little bit self-absorbed and weren't really taking into account what's going on in the rest of the world. All of that is over, and you're ready to move forward with this new perspective. It's a very exciting month for you. So spiritually here, we have the 3 of Swords. This is Spirit's way of saying you are going through a period of healing right now. That's why you're feeling so much better. Things are finally starting to heal up. Whenever we start a new path, it is very scary and it can be very uncomfortable. So as you're very enthusiastic about moving forward, there's always this sense of like, ooh, should I really do that? Or is this the right path? And that's when you need to reach out to your support system around you. They're going to be the ones who are able to lift you up at this time and to help you grieve any losses you're still experiencing, but also continue to help you bring that enthusiasm into the rest of your month. And Spirit picked this card, Hope is the Conduit for Miracles. I think that fits perfectly along with it. As long as you have hope, then you're going to be able to push past these obstacles. If you're coming up to these obstacles and you're just ending it right there and you're not pushing forward, well, then you're not going to get to see the miracles that are around you. Tons of people encounter tons of different obstacles in their life, and it's about how you handle those obstacles that is going to prove whether you're capable of moving on to getting the big rewards that you deserve. Does that mean that we aren't like, oh man, that really sucks whenever we come across an obstacle? No. Does that mean that we don't stay down for a little bit when we come to an obstacle? No. But you can't stay down forever is basically what this card means. You have to have hope that one little obstacle isn't going to derail the rest of your dreams in life. For self-care this month, the 7 of Pentacles reversed and Speak Your Truth. That's a throat chakra card. I know you have a lot of enthusiasm right now and you really want everyone to be on the same page as you. But just note that a lot of signs this month are going through some pretty huge, significant, very upsetting changes, much like what you've just been through. And so they're kind of in the muck down there, not really wanting to progress, just kind of wanting to wallow. And so I understand that you're like, let's go, people. I exactly know what I want to do and I'm ready to do it and let's get out there. But you need to be very careful about the way that you approach that. Don't overdo it. Don't turn yourself into a workaholic, and don't use this new enthusiasm as a way to avoid emotions around you. do speak your truth. You've just been through a lot, and a lot of people need to hear how you've come out of it the other side. You've gained some kind of a wisdom that the people around you really need to hear right now. And so I would very much encourage you to speak up. The way that I describe to people how they can know if spirit is talking to them or not is you're talking to someone and you're going on and you like something pops into your head and you're like, ooh, that reminds me of this situation. Say that. Definitely, if something like that happens in your brain, if you're talking to a friend or a loved one and they're discussing a situation and just something random pops into your head, that's most likely spirit trying to get you to speak their advice through you. They're using you as a channeler of sorts. Everyone can be a channeler. Keep that in mind, and spirit does speak through the people in our lives. So that's going to be your charge this month. That's going to be what renews your soul, is being able to share what you've learned with the people around you. It's going to feel good to be generous. It's going to feel good to help the people in your life. And we're moving into a season where people are a lot more, where a lot of people put a lot of focus on helping the people around them. So I understand that you're already in that vibe, Sagittarius. For mental health, Futura. For your own mental health this month, you really need to check in with people around you. Futura is all about the fact that you have a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of different paths you can take, and that can be very overwhelming. As much as it's exciting, it's also quite overwhelming. Futura is asking you to ask people around you in your life that are trusted sources what you should do next, or maybe just speaking all of these choices aloud to other people will help you to be able to understand what you know that you should be doing next. You're looking into the future with the promise of hope. That's been clear to us. We've had several cards pop up already that have said, you know, because you're so hopeful, that's why all these great things are moving for you. And this is truly the time to cut out all of those past feelings, to not allow yourself to drag the past with you into the future, to look at what brought you to this point and to thank it. Say thank you so much, all of these hardships and struggles. Thank you so much for all of these mistakes that I've made because they've gotten me to the point where they are. Be grateful for those things. They sucked at the time. They made you completely question everything at the time, but now is the time to say thank you to them for the lessons they taught you and to be able to move forward. Now that's much easier said than done, right? That's why we need to maintain that sense of hope so we can get into our next situation. Also, speaking your truth, I'm noticing, is really tying into relying on people around you. You've had 2 cards now that talk about you reaching out to your support system and both speaking spiritual advice to them from spirit guides or whatever you believe in specifically, and also being able to say what you need to say and get their advice. It's going to take the whole community, your whole tribe, if you will, to help you to feel better and to help you to feel like you're actually on the right path that you want to be on. All right, Sagittarius, moving into relationships, I literally stopped and made a new pot of coffee. We've got so many cards to talk about. So here is the meat of your month. It resides with your relationships. So for family, the Ace of Wands reversed with the Knight of Wands reversed. How to set up boundaries, the Three of Swords and the Knight of Swords, and Hera reversed. Your friends are in the energy of the Five of Wands reversed. The gift you're bringing to the world is the Firefly. For my single Sagittarius, it's the Page of Swords reversed. And for my Sagittarians in a relationship, the Empress reversed. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there's an overwhelming amount of reversals here, which means your friends, family, all the people that you love are going through a lot of internal struggle in November. So let's dive straight into your family. Both of these cards indicate major setbacks. Your family is not enthusiastic. They're not feeling self-disciplined. There's a lot of fear being represented here. There's a shaken confidence that you're starting to see. It's coming in 2 different ways. Either you've got family members who are hyper aggressive about everything. Everything you say or do is taken the wrong way, or they're just like really obsessively talking or doing things. Or it's the opposite way, and they're so fearful that they're literally hesitant about doing anything. They're very turned inward. They're not talking to you. You can't get anything from them. You can't get them to speak up or open up to you or even get a hold of them. Yeah, it's just a lot. It's just every emotion heightened. I think you're going to see the whole array within your family of behaviors. How can you set up boundaries? Okay, lots of cards pulled for this, and I'm so glad there were. In the beginning of the month, you are quite easily swept away by all of this. You are allowing their overwhelming energies to really impact you and make you feel very upset and very overwhelmed, and you're starting to feel a sense of loss as well. You're starting to get involved in their pity party, for lack of a better term. Then this Knight of Swords happens here, and you're like, wait a minute. Huge change happens in your perspective. And instead of getting caught up in it, you start playing devil's advocate. You're like, okay, so you're feeling really stressed out and overwhelmed, and you're feeling the need to do a bunch of action. Could this be because of a root cause of fear? So you start to challenge their opinions and reactions by taking on this Knight of Swords energy here. Knight of Swords also represents rebellion, being quick-witted, being intellectual. So you're bringing the intellectual side to the extreme emotion being sent over to you. Hera reverse cautions us to make certain kinds of alliances that are beneficial to us. Hera did not always choose the best partnerships, and she suffered a lot because of it. Fear and denial make up the potential for disillusionment, and I feel like your family members are living in a disillusioned place right now. You are seeing that from the outside perspective. No one wants to pass down their fear and denial from generation to generation, but it's definitely something that occurs. You have to realize that if these people are being disrespectful to you, even if they are your family, it may be time for you to choose different alliances, to call different people your, not family, but to allow different people to serve as a family as the function that the family should serve in your life. Let's say, for example, if your mom is really bringing a lot of emotions about what needs to happen and what you need to do and the outcome of everything in life and how you need to say this or be this way or do that way, maybe you look at your mom right now as a person who's going through a lot of fear, and then you use your friends as your support system. You use your friends as a sounding board. And that might be something that's really helpful. Remember that partnerships and relationships should have deep mutual respect and should be encouraging to the people around them. Ask yourself, who would I be with or without this person or situation? How would my emotions change? What would change for me? And if it is for the better, then I'm not saying that you just completely ghost them and ignore them, but you may just kind of tune them out. Answer their call, let them spew their venom and hatred, and just sort of tune them out and do the okay, yep, okay, yep thing that you need to do. Allow them to vent, but don't allow yourself to get caught up in the drama that they're bringing, essentially. Your friends are in the energy of the Five of Wands. Your friends are fighting their own battles right now. With the people in their lives, they are in the middle of their own area of battle fatigue, suppressing their own tempers, possibly feeling a little bit intimidated by the people around them. Cooperation, control, and focus can be possible as long as you guys stick together and are there to support one another. If you are all bringing your negativity in together, now don't get me wrong, you can have a moment to vent to your friends. You can take the time to say, oh my gosh, my dad said this the other day. It was so tone deaf. But make sure that you come to a place of being supporting and loving with one another, that you allow each person to speak their needs and feelings. And like I said, your friends may need to be your pseudo family for a little while this month. The gift that you're bringing to them is the Firefly, which essentially just means that you're the inspiration. You are the thing that is going to inspire change in other people. You are what's awakening people up, but you can't force them to take that advice. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? So you can provide the inspiration, the facts, the details that these people around you need. However, do not get wrapped up in you forcing them to act on it or to encompass it in their new way of thinking. They might not be ready for that, and that's okay. Sometimes we plant seeds and we watch them grow later. You don't have to sit and stress and worry about whether or not they're changing for the better. You say your piece, you speak with the mouth of truth to the people around you, and if they choose not to take your advice, that's not your concern right now. You did your part of it. They've got to work through their own journey, Sagittarius. Moving into love, the Page of Swords reversed for my single Sagittarians. Unfortunately, I have two different warnings for you. If you are starting to get with someone, maybe like starting to talk with someone, you may find yourself competing with A, another person, or B, something that's going on emotionally in their life right now, and they're just not able to give you their full attention. If you're completely single, you're not talking to anyone else, you're not doing anything in love for you, it's probably just not going to happen this month. This is not a good month for that. You've got a lot going on with your friends and family. So the ability to focus on a romantic love, you're just not in the right headspace for that. And it's kind of a good thing, I think, because starting out a relationship during all of this chaos will make it really hard for you to build a strong foundation that you need for a relationship moving forward. So I think that you'll find that that's a gift in disguise. It's just 1 month, you guys. We've got December coming up, so we can talk about your love life moving forward that way. For my Sagittarians in a relationship, the Empress reversed. You're a little fearful of rejection from your partner. You're afraid that if you speak your truth, there's going to be a huge negative reaction. And there's not a lot of balance in the relationship because of that, because you're holding out on them and you're not telling them how you feel. We're going back to the speak your truth card, right? It's time for you to speak your truth to them without fear, without being concerned. Be very mindful of being overbearing to the people around you. You need to think of the right way to say it. Just blurting it out and saying, hey, I need to talk to you right now. Like, we need to work this out, is not going to be the best approach, just because there are a lot of people going through a lot of things this month. This is a heavy emotional month for the majority of the signs, is what I've been reading so far. That's not the best idea, just like blurting out your feelings. However, you need to take some time to think through what you want to say and sit down and truly express yourself. You could realize when you sit down and think through what you want to say that your mind is using your insecurities against you. So what could be happening is that this is a symptom of you being insecure with yourself, that you are seeing some things in them. You could be feeling like they don't have your back, or that they're not supporting you in the way that they should be, and this could just be because they're mirroring to you. They are mirroring to you what you are doing to yourself. Maybe you realize, oh, I don't have my back. Like, I'm not standing up for myself right now, and you're putting that on them when really you should be looking at yourself. Use your intuition here, though. You will figure out pretty quickly when you sit to really think through what you want to say to them, whether this is your own insecurities thing or whether you really do need to have a discussion with them about things changing and changing for the better. Moving into the material world, for work you have the King of Pentacles, and for finances, the Eight of Swords. Not surprisingly, the King of Pentacles, the top of Pentacles, or the earth sign, the material sign, it's a great omen for you in work. Things are going really well, you're achieving a high status at work, you're starting to reach your goals. You could even be getting encouragement from people who are older and wiser in the field that you are currently in. You could find yourself with a really, really loving, caring mentor that's not only there for you on a business perspective, but that kind of helps guide you through how to handle yourself emotionally while you're at work. Hard work is definitely paying off for you. So if you've been working really hard, then this is the month where things start happening for you. Financially, Sagittarius, you're feeling a little bit trapped in your finances. You may be feeling like, as much as you're getting the rewards and success that you need, you may be feeling like you're not getting enough financially from your job, but it's just enough to get you through. And so there's a bit of a feeling trapped. Your creativity is being stifled because of that. You may want to be bold and go out there and change the way you do things or suggest other things, but you feel very concerned about it knocking you off of your high pedestal, and so you just maintain the status quo. There's this feeling of like, oh, I can't make that decision because I do enjoy the good money that I have coming in and I don't want to rock the boat. Change that. Speak your truth. I don't know why that card keeps getting referenced over and over again. Remember to Speak your truth from earlier in the self section. Make sure that you're standing up for your beliefs. Now is a good time. You're in a good position to go to your boss and say, hey, can we try this differently? Or I'd really like to infuse this. Or what if we did this? Or maybe I could work this time and this time. This is a great month for you to do those things. Think outside of the box so that you can make more money, and don't let yourself give in to fear. Let's roll the Astro dice to get some additional information into the reading. Got the first house represented by Aries, the Scorpio symbol, and Uranus represented by Aquarius. So this could be saying that you have Scorpio, Aries, or Aquarius somewhere else in your sun, moon, or rising sign. This is confirmation that this reading is for you. But I feel this is really honing in on the rebirth that you're having in your perspective or identity. Aries can represent the identity, the self, the way we approach life. Scorpio is all about death and rebirth, not physical death, but the death of old ideas and then transforming that, transmuting them into better ideas. The Aquarius symbol, and Uranus specifically, it's very unpredictable. You feel very rebellious. You feel like you want to change things up. You're ready to mix up society and make it better. Aquarius a lot of times is the symbol of forgetting one's true self and moving towards a more holistic global approach. So your thoughts are more with how can we make this world better for everyone, and less about how can I get what I want. So your perspective is shifting to this more global, how can we help the bigger perspective, the bigger world. And that's what your whole driving force seems to be this month. Looking at all these cards in front of me, yeah, that seems to be what you're doing. You're looking at things, and it's, some people are pushing back, right? Like your family members are pushing back on that. There could be someone at work who is pushing back on that. That's okay. Remember to form the right alliance, right? Remember to make sure you're picking the right amount of the right type of people to be your support system. These are all the messages I'm getting for you. If this video resonates, give it a like. Comment down below on which sections you feel should be a regular addition to the monthly horoscope readings. I'm always trying to change things up so that you feel that you have the exact information that you want each month. Subscribe to my channel for more pick a card videos as well as monthly horoscope readings. I will see you next time. Bye, Sagittarius.